Hello everyone, Mimikins here. When the Behemoth was first introduced, I showed you a DPS support build for light bowgun, which still works well, but I decided I wanted to make something a bit different for the extreme version. My super tanker build. I built for lance, but it could be modified to suit other weapons with a shield. Even if you haven't played lance before, it's pretty easy to pick up. This build is great for any hard content. Capcom tried to make the Behemoth fight just like 14. I don't know if any of you have played 14. The group consisted of a tank, healer and 2 DPS. Anything remotely difficult in that game required a tank, and I feel that's what they've tried to recreate here. In order to bring some sort of control to the fight, when a character has enmity, the Behemoth casts less Charybdis. This spell, if left uncontrolled, can take over the whole area and make it difficult to fight, and sometimes even cart because you just can't do anything. The Behemoth Extreme is the hardest fight so far in Monster Hunter World. I would only recommend attempting this event if you've completed and are familiar with the original Behemoth fight. This one is a challenge and harder, but I like a challenge. If you watched my last Behemoth video, I showcased his moves. Well, he still has the same moves, but Capcom have made them more deadly. The Behemoth has a purple outline, meaning he's tempered, and has an increased resistance to flash pods. I was only able to flash him twice before it became unreliable, so when he casts spells like Charybdis, make it a priority to move away from the comet boulders, as there are less boulders to hide behind this time round. His meteor now targets multiple people, so when you see him cast this, block with your shield. If you miss it, it now gives you a defense down debuff, as well as the fire blight. You can remove the defense down by using an adamant seed or powder. Ecliptic Meteor he starts casting in Area 1, and it's a lot faster. You need to make sure you and your group members fight near enough to run there for cover, but not so close that it gets destroyed. Positioning is everything, and being a tank you can help control that if you manage to grab enmity. Capcom have disabled items so no forecasters can be used. If you see him casting and the boulder is the other side of the room, you can try to use the Final Fantasy XIV jump gesture. You have to hit the emote right as he's slamming down his front paws when the meteor is in the sky. It's best to practice while behind the boulder. You will know that you've done it correctly when your character slashes the Behemoth afterwards. You also don't need to be directly behind the boulder. Rather, just make sure you are line of sighting the impact area using the comet. I jumped here, but too late. It was a line of sight that stopped me from carting. He still casts Thunderbolt, so be ready to block that too. Thankfully, the Lance Shield with guard up blocks most of his attacks, so you shouldn't be afflicted with status ailments or blights. Nevertheless, make sure you bring Nullberries. The only things you might get knocked by is the winds from Charybdis, so be prepared to run, hop or charge away when he casts that. My Lance build is not only very tanky, but it does a decent amount of damage too. Lance is particularly good for cutting the tail, as it has an upward attack which is just the right height for the tail. I like this build a lot, and it makes it a whole lot easier to survive, but there are still those moments where a missed block or a bad position can send you spiralling down the road for a cart. I'll show you my build. I went with the Empress Lance stick since it's very flexible. 2 level 3 slots, white sharpness and razor sharp. Since lance is quite a cumbersome weapon, and I'm likely to have the monster's attention, last thing I want to do is mess around with sharpening my weapon. Razor sharp is nice for quality of life, and it allows you to keep white or blue sharpness before the Behemoth changes room, which is one less thing to concentrate on in a difficult and intense fight. I have 2 parts of the Lunastra set bonus for increased stamina cap, and Valhazak set bonus for super recovery, allowing me to recover HP constantly. Lots of nice defensive abilities with some DPS mixed in. I put a flinch free in so I don't get knocked by other players' regular attacks. This works really well for Behemoth Extreme, but there's one thing that's annoying me. I still don't have a Mind's Eye duel. It's annoying me so much as I wanted to use it in my bowgun builds too. Even with white sharpness, I still bounce off the Behemoth's body and sometimes his horn, With this build you can compensate by attacking his legs, tail and head, but if you miss and accidentally bounce, it can be annoying and leave you open to an attack. So I decided to try making a build out of the Lanastra set, which has the Mind's Eye set bonus. I've lost the Valhazak super recovery, but I've gained a few things that I really like instead. So I'll just include this build as well in case there's people like me out there that would really like Mind's Eye in their build, but don't have the duel. So the things that I prefer about this build is Evade Extender has made it easier for me to hop to reposition. The set has natural +8 fire and +5 thunder, so if I aim for elemental guard, I don't get hit with blights if I miss a block. It also has level 4 wide range, so I can throw out a few items to party members. In this build you are still able to regain health from the health regen augment on your weapon, your red HP still regens fast, and if you've eaten elemental guard at the canteen, there's no sapping health from fire blight. Both are very solid builds. I would recommend any of them for high difficulty content. They have ample slots. If you want to try something else slotted in, feel free, but make sure for the Behemoth you keep level 5 guard and guard up. Good luck everyone on this extreme fight. I hope you guys found the video useful. Please support the channel by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.